I am back. So I actually have been having a really hard time finding the time to make videos. So I apologize to the 3 people who are watching. Pardon my appearance, I just worked out and I had a couple minutes to myself, so I am here talking to you. I wanted to talk about my surgery. So I just recently had the second half of my breast reconstruction done, which is also called an exchange surgery because I went from expanders after my acceptomy. I did kind of have to accept it a little bit. But after my mastectomy, I had expanders placed in my chest where they were solely there just to help expand the skin. After that is expanded enough, you're allowed to switch out from expanders to implants. Now, it is a little bit more complicated on my end just because I was recommended something otherwise, not to use implants, because I did have radiation on my left breast. Now, radiation can cause more likelihood of having complications with an implant because it's not your own tissue, and any kind of damage that happens to the skin and the tissues in that area have a higher likelihood of failing or just having complications, higher rate of infection, capsular contracture, not able to heal well, you name it, the list kind of goes on. I chose this route because it was right for my life. And you also have to choose what is right for you. There's multiple options, and make sure that you are talking to your plastic surgeon and understanding what all your options are, and maybe even getting a second opinion, because some doctors do fit a specific mold of what they like to do. So it's not a bad idea to get multiple opinions. Now, again, while you might be pushed toward a one direction, which like I was pushed toward the lat flap and the deep flap, which honestly, if I had all the ability in the world, I probably would have chose deep flap. But my life right now is not really ideal for that kind of downtime. So I have a 4-year-old and a 1.5-year-old, and I want to be on the move. So I wanted to choose the route that was right for me in terms of the amount of heal time. Now, there is still healing involved and wait and downtime and unable to lift and all those kind of restrictions, but ultimately that's why I chose this route. Implants do have a higher rate of complications when you do have radiation, but it can still be done. There is just that disclaimer there that you might have more complications. And I went into that knowing it and comfortable with my decision, and right now I'm very happy with making that decision still. Maybe in the future I will need to take care of it or make a different decision because of those things, but right now I'm very happy. I also will be doing fat grafting as recommended by plastic surgeon at a later date. I'm pushing that off just because, again, I want to feel good. I want to take a break from surgery. I want to take a break from just kind of like being down and out, and that's why I chose implants. I want you to keep in mind when making decisions like this is that you have to do what's right for you, and you're gonna get a lot of opinions, not just from your plastic surgeon, which is the one who should be giving the opinion. It's okay, people just want what's best for you, and they just don't know. They don't know. So just accept that that's what's gonna happen, and ultimately make your decision based on factors that are important to you, and that's it. What you think is right, what you feel is right, and what you think is right for your life. That's all that matters. You are allowed to have breasts after going through breast cancer. And if that looks like implants, amazing. If it looks like autologous, which is the deep flap or the lat flap, that's great. If it is going flat, even better. Like, those are all options, and you could pick from them given what your plastic surgeon and your team tells you that you have the options for. Now, to talk about the actual experience, there's 5 things that I want you to know. The first thing is that it's super easy. If you've had a mastectomy, if you're now going from expanders to implants, you're gonna wake up and feel really good in comparison to your mastectomy. I feel like it was so easy where I had to really be conscious of what not to do, like whether it was like cleaning or just picking things up, putting things away, reaching. You know, with my mastectomies, I definitely had limited range of motion, but not with this. I didn't feel the rock hard expanders in my chest, and I did have some more leeway. So word of advice is take it easier than you think you have to, for sure. And even if you have a companion, someone in the house living with you, or a best friend or a family member that could kind of remind you to take it easy, get them on board, because you're gonna be really shocked at how you feel. Again, I didn't need any pain medication. I took Tylenol once because I thought I was gonna need to get ahead of the pain, but literally no pain. I might have some discomfort in terms of the incision area a couple weeks post-op, but that was about it. It was pretty amazing, and I was very pleasantly surprised. All right, number 2, if you did have a mastectomy and you bought things, or if you're going to have a mastectomy and you're buying things for your mastectomy, keep it, because even if you're not having an exchange, if you're having any kind of breast reconstruction, keep the stuff that you bought or only used for your mastectomy, because you could potentially use it for this exchange. I still had my mastectomy pillow that I didn't really need. I kept it just in case. I also used all the bras that I used post-mastectomy, front closing bras, some super cheapies that were comfortable. Honestly, I really like the pink mastectomy bras that I have, the Velcro ones that have the drain holders, even though there's no drains with exchange, at least for most of them. I use them a lot. They're just easy to sleep in, they're very light. Number 3 is that you will have to stay on your back for a few weeks when you're sleeping. So you are going to be, if you're not a back sleeper, you're gonna be uncomfortable. So do what you can to make yourself comfortable and stay on your back. If that's not sleeping in bed and staying in a chair, try to get that aligned, or get yourself situated in bed where maybe it's harder to roll. And that is super important, because they want the pockets to stay where they are, and if you're moving too early, the pressure from the implants could create a bigger pocket, therefore leading to movement of the implants. Number 4, if you're interested in reducing the scars that you have on your chest, start looking into scar creams, because you're allowed to use them at a given point after you've had your surgery. Talk to your surgeon, because they will give you a date or a time frame when you could start to use the scar cream. And honestly, if that's something that is important to you, obviously you're gonna wanna start as soon as you possibly can. So do your research, see what you want, see what other people have used. And in talking about creams too, you're gonna have some kind of ointment to put on the scar or on the incisions right after you've had the surgery. And then at some point, you're also gonna transition to an Aquaphor or even a calendula cream like I talked about with radiation. So just keep that in mind. And if you have bras you don't wanna ruin, just make sure you have some gauze at home that you could put over that between your bra. And number 5, the 5th tip that I feel like is the most important tip, just no matter what the results are of your exchange surgery, just be happy that you're at this point. Really soak it in and, embrace the moment. When you had to have your mastectomy, you envisioned this day, or you envisioned this time frame, and it's something to celebrate. Just be grateful you're at this point. And while you never wanted to have to do this in the first place, I think it's important to just celebrate the wins, no matter how big, no matter how small. I am so glad I'm finally having the implants in, because I've had my expanders in. One of them I almost had for 2 years, the other one I had for a little less than a year. And I've been daydreaming of having the switch. So no matter how long you've had your expanders, or if you haven't even gotten to that stage yet, just know that each step in your journey is really something that you should celebrate. Allow yourself to enjoy it. Allow yourself to be happy. Even if it's not what you wanted, which is not to have cancer, this is something that is a good thing. There's some closure with it. So just allow yourself that. That is all I'm saying. That being said, my daughter is just waking up, so I hope that you enjoyed this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.